Hey guys, welcome back to the MCU HQ, and this is my spoiler review for Spider-Man Far From Home. If you have not seen the movie, click away from this video, go watch my non-spoiler review, and then go see Spider-Man Far From Home, and then come back and watch this review, because we are going full spoilers in this video, and every big thing in the movie will be spoiled for you if you have not yet seen the movie. So click away right now. You have 5 seconds, and then I'm going to drop a big spoiler. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The elementals are fake. Mysterio is fake. Mysterio dies, and then Peter and MJ hook up. There you go. I hope you guys clicked away. Anyway, so let's hop into this video. I made 5 points here. I don't want that in the shot. I made 5 points here, and I have to make sure to talk about them. I mean, I cross them off as I do them so that I don't skip anything. So first thing I want to talk about here, actually I want to talk about Peter and MJ. Now, I said I liked their relationship a lot in this movie, and it was really good, but there's something weird about it that didn't make any sense to me. And that's in Homecoming, there's this sense that MJ has a thing for Peter, but it never shows that Peter has a thing for MJ. He seems weirded out by her the entire movie. And then we get to this film, and they're suddenly both really into each other, and it made zero sense to me. There was like zero bridge in that. It was like there was the beginning, then this midsection, then Far From Home, but they took out the midsection, and now we just have two things like this. And then we're just supposed to assume that something happened in there. And that was really weird to me. The entire movie, I was thinking, like, in Homecoming, he didn't like her that much. Like, I mean, he liked her kind of like in a friend way, but he didn't have a crush on her. So that was weird to me, but I really liked everything about the two of them, especially when she figured out he was Spider-Man. Originally, I even made a video saying I did not like that, and I'm going to turn the camera real quick. So I made a video talking about how I wasn't a fan of how it wasn't epic and they played off as a joke, but when you watch the movie, you're a bit more fine with the way they do it. And I still am not a fan of that she's like, yeah, you're Spider-Man, but watching the movie, I can be like, okay, I mean, it kind of makes sense. And the fact that she wasn't 100% sure, she was going out on a limb, I feel like it was kind of okay, but definitely not my favorite. Also, Ned and Betty Brant was hilarious, how they accidentally started dating because the turbulence made Ned grab Betty's hand on the plane. Then they looked at each other and then they get off and they're a total thing. That was hilarious. There were two scenes in this movie that Ned 100% stole. And that's when he hooks up with, or when he starts dating Betty, and he's like, and Peter's like, what happened to American Bachelors in Europe? And Ned's like, Peter, those were the words of a boy. I love that scene. And at the end, when they break up and he's giving his like words of wisdom, that's phenomenal. Also, I don't know, I liked when they were in Venice. That was pretty cool. Hey, now let's talk about Mysterio while we're here doing characters before we move on to like amazing scenes. Mysterio was my favorite character in this movie. I loved every scene that he was there. And especially the scene when he was with William, the guy from Iron Man 1, and who else was there that was from an Iron Man thing? I can't remember the other character they had, but they basically had all these people who felt like they were ruined by Iron Man, and they had joined up, and they used the drones to cloak and make illusions that Mysterio and the Elementals were real. I thought that was phenomenal. I liked how they did it. People said they were confused about how Mysterio's powers work. I'm like, did we not watch the same movie? Because they blatantly say that his powers are fake, so there really shouldn't be any confusion, and that made no sense to me. But the scene when he's in the bar with Peter, and Peter leaves, and you see everything start hologramming away. The second it goes away, I'm like, and villain Mysterio, here he comes. And it was great. And he's like, we did it, guys. We got Edith. And you're like, Mysterio just won halfway through the movie. It was phenomenal. So every scene the Elementals are in, he randomly appears. So the first scene when the Earth one comes up out of the ground, and Nick and Maria Hill turn around, Mysterio's there, he's shooting. When the water one, I'm just going to call him Hydro Man, Molten Man, and Sandman for convenience. When Hydro Man comes out of the water in Venice, and Mysterio's magically there. So you kind of know something's going on, and I figured from the start he wasn't with them. I mean, most people did, but you're basically getting those hints that yeah, this is not what it seems. I think that was really cool. And also, when even though we know Mysterio was in London when all the Elementals formed up, there's still this sense when he shows up from the character's point of view where it puts you right back to where you were, and you're like, he just showed up out of nowhere. So that happens a lot in the movie. I think it was really cool. And the scene when he's on the bridge and Peter's shutting down the hologram and he sees Mysterio there, and Mysterio's like, ah, that was great. Now I want to get into some huge scenes. My two favorite scenes in this movie both involved Mysterio's illusion. So the first one was like that 3 to 5 minute scene when he does the illusion at the little shield base they have where he shoots Nick Fury and he pulls like Iron Man, his like suit, and it's a zombie. He pulls out the grave and it's going at him, and like his hand's coming up and he's punching Peter, and Peter tries to like jump at him, but it's a wall and he punches the wall, and that ends and Mysterio gets shot, and you're like that's not it. And I felt like it was Nick Fury, but I thought it was illusion Mysterio, and that's revealed, nope, Mysterio is actually Nick Fury. He's doing an illusion, and he hits Peter, and Peter falls into the train and wakes up in the Netherlands. That scene, that entire scene in the movie was phenomenal. Now, I lied. I actually have 3 favorite scenes. I'm going to get to my really favorite scene last. But my second favorite scene is when they're on the plane, and he's like, Happy, I need a suit. And in the back, the plane opens up. Happy's like, you take care of the suit, I'll take care of the music. And he hits the button, and they play the song from the start of Iron Man 1. And I got chills. And I was like, dude, I'm getting throwbacks here, and it's going to make me emotional. I don't want my MCU movie. I don't want a Spider-Man movie doing that to me. But then he makes the suits like pull up everything on Peter Parker, and we see classic Iron Spider, a hologram of it. And he pulls up like a suit template. He like puts his hand through a hologram, and he's holding it up just like when Iron Man was building the Mark II, and he had the holograms. And he enlarges the web shooter to get the anatomy of it. He's like, we're getting rid of that, we're going to add this. Felt very Tony Starky. And then he's like the computer's doing something with those schematics, and then he grabs the spider and he enlarges it, and that shows the suit being made. A few scenes later, the red wrap is going around it. They build the eye holes and then stick the things in. It zooms in on the chest right as the spider gets put into it, and I had chills that entire scene. It was phenomenal. And then he airdrops into London, and I loved it. But now, let's get to my favorite scene of this entire movie. And that's the entire movie, Spidey sense is not working. He cannot figure out how his Spidey sense works. It's happened before in Infinity War, the hairs stand up. In Civil War, he sensed something coming from behind. In Far From Home, when Hydro Man shows up, he does have a bit of a, the hairs come up. Except they don't call it Spider Sense, they call it Peter Tingle. I hate it, but whatever. They'll call it Spider Sense next movie. I know how this works. And so, he can't figure it out. And later, he's at the bridge with Mysterio, and all the drones have to cover Mysterio. They cloak, and then we go into illusion. We got the green smoke, we got black everywhere, and Peter takes a breath, and he's like, okay, Peter Tingle. And he starts running, and then he jumps and punches one of the drones out of cloak, and he's going through, taking them all out. And oh my god, the chills I had in this scene. And he's like webbing them all up, using them to hit each other. And then he goes under the bridge, blows it up, comes out from under it, and then lands on the roof and punches Mysterio in the face, and then he finally lands. And when he did that, I was like, that might have been one of the MCU's best scenes. There's not. And it's cool, because you have everyone involved. This is not just Peter like it was in Homecoming. You have Peter dealing with Mysterio, and then inside you have Happy, MJ, Ned, Betty was there, and Flash. And they're inside the vault, and Happy throws a shield, and it doesn't do anything. He's like, how does Cap do that? And he's got the halberd, whatever it's called. And MJ's got the mace, and they're ready to go down fighting. And it felt amazing. It was amazing. And Peter's suit, this was so sad, because I love that red and black suit so much. He's webbing under the bridge, and it lights on fire. And he's on fire for a solid 30 seconds. They just casually skims across the water and puts the fire out. And then at the end of the fight, the thing I was shocked by is that Mysterio actually dies. Now, people might be like, but it's just an illusion. Like, this is Mysterio we're talking. It's the master of illusions, which I would agree with you. I want to agree with you. But Edith said there were no more illusions present. Which, also in a way, though, because Edith was also tapped into Quentin Beck. So, was Quentin Beck actually his name, or did he make that up? I can't even remember. But it was tapped into him. So it could have been lying for Mysterio, but I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, right now in the MCU, I want to say Mysterio's dead. Which kind of ruins the Sinister Six then, because we can't get them. But if Sony and Marvel are planning 7 more movies, Mysterio might come back. We might be getting Sinister Six. So, yay. But yeah, so Mysterio, he has one last illusion where he goes to hit Peter. He has one last illusion where he dies, and then you hear a gunfire, and Peter catches it, and then he looks over, and that's the real Mysterio, and then Mysterio collapses, and he dies, ultimately. And there's no heartbeat, there's no illusions present. We are moving in to the post-credit scene. Let me scratch everything off here, make sure I touch it. I got Mysterio, we got Peter Tingle, we got Peter and MJ, we got Final Fight. Okay, post-credit scene. Let me scratch that out. There are 2. We're going to talk about the second one first, actually. And that's the reveal that Nick Fury and Maria Hill in this movie were not actually Nick Fury and Maria Hill. Nick Fury is Talos, the guy from Captain Marvel, and Maria Hill is some other Skrull. And they were basically acting as Fury and Hill, while Fury was taking a break up in space with the Skrulls, and I'm pretty sure that was like S.W.O.R.D., which is like the space shield. And he's working with the Skrulls up there, and he's just complete comedic relief. He's like, "Where are my shoes? Does anyone have my shoes?" And that was kind of a waste, because imagine how sick it would have been if we just saw Talos come out of Nick Fury and we're like, hang on a sec, what? Hang on a sec. But we don't get that. But I don't know, I'm fine with it. I do like the idea of Skrulls being good, but I hope not all of them are good. But anyway, enough of the second post-credit scene. Let's get to the real meat here. And that's the first post-credit scene. So the movie ends with Peter and MJ taking off to go somewhere, and the post-credit scene picks up with them flying through the city, and Peter lands, and MJ's like, never doing that again, never. And then like, a Jumbotron comes on that they were talking about how Mysterio had been killed, and he was the hero and stuff. And then, J. Jonah Jameson, the Daily Bugle, comes on, played by none other than the original actor himself, J.K. Simmons, and he's like, "Spider-Man's a menace!" And the smile on my face, I mean, ear to ear, I looked like the Joker. Yeah, that's a different company entirely. I don't care. And both my friend and I looked over at each other. We both had the exact same expression. It was amazing. And then, after that, they say, look, we have Mysterio's final words before he was killed. Some people might find this hard to watch, and they play it, and he's like, Spider-Man was the one who was launching all the drones, and he said he was trying to save everyone, and it didn't work, and then he says, and one last thing, Spider-Man is and that cuts off, and you think it's good, and then the feed comes back, and he says, Spider-Man is Peter Parker, and then shows a picture of Peter Parker, and Peter's like, and then that's it, then we go to credits, and I was like, dude, in the comics, I went straight to comics. I was like, in the comics, when everyone found out that he was Spider-Man, Aunt May died. Things happened with MJ. Spider-Man started killing. So, like, we might get dark and gritty Spider-Man coming up. Bring on Deadpool. Give me these 2 people in a movie, right here. Spider-Man and Deadpool. Make it happen. Make it happen, Marvel. Make it happen, please. Do it. Do it for the fans. But anyway, I think I might make a whole new video on the post-credit scene just because there's so much stuff to talk about and dissect. I feel like it needs its own video. But anyway, those are really the big things I want to talk about in the spoiler review. If you guys think of anything else, if there's a giant list, I will gladly make a part 2 to this video. But these are just things off the top of my head after one viewing that I recall talking about. I might be going to see it again in a few days, so if anything big pops up, I might make a part 2 to this spoiler review. But for now, that's going to be it. So leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Also leave a like on this video, subscribe, and click on the bell icon to receive all notifications from the M2HQ. That's going to be it. Have a great day, guys.